This is the new Outpost Rush map, but we have a way better image that I'm about to show you, and it's looking pretty good, pretty tasty, and very nice. So what's happened is, when they did season 7, which I think, if I'm honest, is pretty much a disaster, but we'll not talk about that right here. In the backing data, they have some images and some files relating to the new Outpost Rush map, the Coral Divide. One of the images was this, and then Ginny from New World Buddy, which by the way is a fantastic website, which I'm going to leave a link to in the description if you're looking for like almost everything related to New World. That combined with New World Database, they're insane. You should check them both out. But New World Ginny is the guy who did this, and yeah, it's pretty spectacular and very, very, very revealing. Now bear with me, because this at face first is kind of a little bit hard to decipher, but this effectively is the entirety of the new map. Now, I think these assets are the ones that are planned, but obviously some of this is unfinished. For example, right above my head, there are some floating items. That's where one of the spawn points is going to be. So I'm going to explain what this map is, because I think it's very important to know. So we'll start with the basics. Where are you going to spawn? What does this map look like? So you can see it's relatively symmetrical, right? So this is kind of the middle line. And then the spawn points are, one's going to be just behind my head where these blue gates are and this empty floor is. And then the other spawn's going to be over here. Okay, so these are the spawns. And then we basically have the middle point, which is going to be this big building here. And it looks like there's going to be a capture point inside that building. And you can see you can literally just run straight up to it here. You can run straight up to it here. Now, they did talk about how there was like a central trench, which I think is the thing that's going all the way around. They also spoke about how you build the bridges. Now, I'm not sure if these stone bridges are the ones that you're going to build. There are actually some bridges that are supposed to come down here, this way and this way over here, and they're wooden, so maybe they're the ones you actually need to build. Maybe the whole point is that at first, you will all run to the middle, fight at the middle, and then move to the side points, because it actually looks like point number 2 and 3, or if you could imagine this as being like moon and star, but it looks like one of them is here, and it looks like the other one is here. It also looks like there is a chaos spawn over here, which would be where you would go and get brute. There are some chop downables, and there's going to be wolves and stuff like that. There are gatherables, and you are going to be able to get the wolves. The only thing that we don't really see on here is Baroness. Now, it's worth noting that there are some caves on this map. Apparently, there's like a whole underground set of caves. And I think that's because in these trenches, there are, I'm assuming, pathways that you can get under the map. And maybe you'll be able to be brought up in various different points. Maybe Baroness or something equivalent will be there. It might be possible that the Baroness will simply be like right in the middle here. It might be that she spawns here. It might be that it's somewhere else. But that effectively is what we're looking at here. Now, there's a couple of people who will have noticed a couple of things. Like if we zoom into one of these points over here, you'll notice that the assets that are currently on display, and I'm assuming these are the ones that they're actually planning on using, are actually going to be the ones from Cutlass Keys and the free-for-all zone. It's kind of that like pirate sea shanty kind of vibe, at least on this side of the map here. The rest of it is kind of just like rocky terrain. But you can see there looks like there's going to be a lot of like elevation. There's drop downs into the caves below. It looks like there's a lot more like, I don't want to say cluttered, but it looks like there's going to be a lot more like focused paths. And you know what? I'm actually kind of excited about that. I think that will bring a whole new dimension to Outpost Rush. If you think about the current Outpost Rush map, it is effectively just a wide open area, except the side paths have a couple of different rocks that channel you down a side path. Other than that, there's not much to it. Here in this one, there is a hell of a lot more going on. Let's just be honest. There's a hell of a lot more going on. It's more compact, but the pathways are going to be more dense. It's kind of exciting, if I'm honest. I'm a little bit, and this isn't, I don't mind them reusing assets. I don't want to get like hung up on them reusing assets, but I am kind of a little bit bored of the like Cutlass Keys aesthetic. I think we could probably move on with that, but I don't mind this. This is all very exciting. But we have a couple more images to show. We're not done just yet. So we can have a look here where it's a little bit more zoomed in from what is like would be the top area of the map. You can see a bridge over here on the left going over this waterfall, and a bridge on the right going over this little gap here. Not too much is going on here. We have the Chaos Portal Shrine bit where you normally get brute, and what I assume is a pathway where like a little tunnel. It doesn't appear to be very far. Like it doesn't appear to be like a big distance. Everything seems a little bit more compact. It looks like there's also some pathways going up here. You have these pathways coming from here. You have this pathway, as I said, going up this side, and the same on this side, because it's relatively symmetrical, not fully symmetrical, but like pretty much symmetrical. So that's interesting right here, the top bit looking nice. We have the same kind of viewing angle, but from above the middle. You can kind of see here that it really doesn't look very far. Like the gap between the spawn point, which is here and over here, like it really looks pretty damn close. Now, obviously, this is a picture that I might not be getting the scale of, but it looks pretty damn close, and it looks like the main starting point will be a little bit of a dubious call between who's going to go into the doors, which, by the way, it looks like there's going to be 4 doors, one over here, one on each side, and then one at the front. But it's going to be effectively like a fight between who goes inside and who fights in the courtyard, basically. This whole courtyard is going to be a fight. Some people will probably split off and try to go to the other points. Some people will go inside, and it looks like it's going to be one hell of a big fight in the middle right there. As I said, it doesn't look like it's going to be too long. It does look like the rangedy boys will probably be able to stay on the bridge, but it looks interesting, looks exciting to me. Just to give you a little close-up of what we think it looks like inside. Well, I say we, Ginny from New World Buddy. But this is looks like to be the point in the middle, I would assume. You can see we have the classic storage box, and then we have the doors. Now, these doors I'm assuming can be built, but if there's like 4 of them, that might not be something you really want to be doing. But it looks like this is going to be completely contained, like there's no way of getting up. Or at least maybe there is, we just don't see it right now, but maybe you can get onto the top of the castle, or whatever that structure is. But it's going to be surrounded by gold, that classic like Cutlass Keys pirate treasure vibe. Yeah, looks good. Then we have the bottom section of the map, which, you know, we've kind of already seen, but the one thing I would kind of draw your attention to is, well, there's 2 things. I'm not sure if these bridges here will actually be there from the start. Like, maybe when you spawn, maybe you can't get to the points that are here and here. Maybe you actually need to like go in the middle, chop down the trees, come back and build that so that you have a shorter point to the point. But what's interesting for me is in this fight, you're going to have this situation where effectively on maybe like a quarter of the map, so like this whole region here, that kind of looks like a face. But what I think is on this quarter of the map, it's going to be very important, right? Because there's 2 points here, we think. So whoever dominates this section is going to dominate 2 points, where normally in the current Outpost Rush, you have middle and maybe like your home point or far away point, and it's easier to defend 2 than it is 3, obviously, but it's not easy to defend 2. Maybe here you could actually defend 2 relatively easily depending on the distance. Now, there is one caveat to all of that, is I'm not really 100% sure about this middle structure here. What this is and how it works, I don't know. Maybe this will be where Baroness will be or something equivalent. Maybe to actually get from this point to this point, you actually have to go around. Maybe there's no way through, or maybe you can get inside and start shooting at the points. We don't really know, right? It's kind of hard to see, it's kind of hard to make out. It's either just a place where you do nothing, or maybe it's underground. We simply don't know, but it's going to be exciting to find out. So I appreciate that this looks a little bit chaotic. I will leave a link to the images. Again, it's from New World Buddy Genie, but actually the link is just an IMG file. It's not like anything crazy. But overall, I'm very excited. I like the pirate aesthetic. Like, it's nice, Coral Divide. It all kind of makes sense. I like the fact that it's going to be more, it's going to feel like more like a battleground to me, more like a traditional MMO battleground instead of just an open plain. Kind of reminds me of maybe like Battlegrounds from ESO or Guild Wars 2, that kind of thing. The line of sight is actually going to be really important. It looks kind of small and compact, but when you think about it, there might be like underground tunnels and stuff like that as well. Definitely feel like there's going to be enough space for 20 people, and there's going to be enough to do. There are all the gatherables and stuff like that as normal. Overall, I think it's really exciting. I am kind of most curious about this structure here, whether or not you can actually somehow get on top of it. I kind of doubt it, but you never know. You might be able to climb the rocks or something. Definitely looks like you can at least walk on top of this, I don't really call it like a gateway. Looks like you can, gangway. It looks like you can walk on top of that right there, right here. Yeah, I mean, it's a little teaser of an Outpost Rush. I wouldn't get too hung up on the colors because the actual files are, they literally look like this with no color, right? It's obviously a 3D render. It's not supposed to be in-game. New World generally is very beautiful, and I'm pretty sure that when we are on the ground looking at it, it will look very nice indeed. But I will say I am genuinely actually super excited for a new Outpost Rush. We know a preview is coming. I've kind of heard rumors that it might be coming in the next couple of weeks. I won't reveal my source there. I wonder if that's kind of possibly been delayed due to the issues with Season 7 and the PvP servers. Maybe they might want to take a little bit of a let's not mess things up first approach. But I do think we are probably going to see this soon. We might see it from some content creators first before we see it in game. We might just get the preview weekend. I almost don't really want the preview weekend to be this close to it, because then we're going to be like, oh, I actually kind of want that, and it's months away. So we'll see. Either way, I'm genuinely excited about the Outpost Rush map. Season 7 for me at the minute has been a bit of a unmitigated disaster. The issues with the transfers, Season 7 just in general, I don't think it's very good, because one, I think seasons are a bad idea. I think the PvP server was a little bit of a worse idea. Or maybe not worse, but it compounded the issue. The transfer issue obviously has been a bit of a pain in the backside. Burninator is just absolutely dominating, and I think I honestly kind of feel like it should be removed from the game. The potion change is also pretty bad. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Season 7, but I am looking forward to this because the combat in that game mode right there, actually something that I am excited about. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll also leave a link to Male Oreo video because I think without him I wouldn't even notice this was a thing, so go check out his YouTube channel as well. Have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.